My name is Jennifer Holleman, and I am from rural Nova Scotia. I lost my oldest daughter, Madison, to human trafficking in the summer of 2015. Madison was a lot of fun. She had a lot of ambition, a lot of spunk and spark. She was very spontaneous. Madison was very active in school. She was a French immersion student. She played rugby. She played hockey. Madison was also an amateur boxer. I boxed for 13 years, and Madison was my star athlete after I stopped competing and started coaching. And she was a two-time Canadian national champion in 2 different weight divisions. So she was a pretty incredible kid. She was an amazing big sister. She was a phenomenal mom to my granddaughter, Callie, and just an all-around great kid. Probably almost 8 years now that I've been speaking out about what happened to Madison. It sort of just fell into my lap the first time I was asked to share her story. And it became a passion after that, because I realized that I had raised 2 daughters of my own and a stepdaughter, and then I was raising Madison's little girl. And I was aware that human trafficking was a thing, but I actually didn't know how horrible it was and how prominent it was in my own province. Meeting Paul was probably the biggest ray of hope that I had ever, come across with respect to, trying to establish Madison's legacy, because he asked me what I wanted, and I said, I want her legacy to be one of positivity and hope and not one of pain and despair. And he's made that happen. The issue with what happened with Madison was cross-jurisdictional cooperation. And when she would leave one jurisdiction and get moved to another jurisdiction, it was no longer their problem. With the Maddison Sessions, what has happened is they've brought together the frontline investigators from human trafficking units from East Coast to West Coast in this country, and they've put them all in one space. And what I've seen, and it's emotional for me, is the camaraderie that is connecting these officers now to not only make them want to work harder, but to work together. And I'm so happy to see that, because I know that the Maddison Sessions will continue to be ongoing. It will continue to grow, and these officers will continue to become friends and want to work together to end human trafficking. And that's incredible. And that's probably the largest sign of hope that I've seen in the last number of years since doing this. To see that, people are open and they want to learn and they want to help and they want to educate and they want to raise money so that we can bring more awareness to people in our country. That's incredible. So, and that again is something that's just going to continue to grow. It's that human trafficking doesn't discriminate. We have this misconception that it affects the homeless or children that are getting lost in the system, or children that come from broken homes, or children that are obviously they're vulnerable. It doesn't affect a vulnerable group of individuals, but it doesn't discriminate. Madison, we were from a middle class family. Our kids were very well taken care of. They were very well educated. They had opportunities galore. They were well parented. They were surrounded by people that loved them and that cared for them. I lived with a lot of guilt for a very long time, believing that it was my fault, and it wasn't my fault. And I think that that's a really huge thing for people to realize.